Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen, MikeColleen.com. Excuse me. Okay, so I wanted to make a quick video about something. So, all right. So remember, the reason why Narcissist made you a target was really because you didn't verbally speak up for yourself. You didn't yell, you didn't get mad, you didn't call them on their shit, okay? So, one of the things I've been making in the last, I don't know how many videos, but the biggest thing, the realization you have to have is you weren't a target because you were small or weak or anything, or even dumb. You were a target simply because you didn't speak up for yourself. You were a target because you didn't, yell at them and get mad and call them on their shit and tell them you're full of shit and that's bullshit. I'm telling you, narcissists that is not, okay. You have to understand, narcissists, they have an attachment style, okay? They are looking for someone who is loving, who is nurturing, who is unbelievably forgiving of all their bullshit. Okay? They're looking for a scapegoat. They're looking for someone to blame, to shame, to take all their anger and all their hurt out on. So here's the deal. Don't be this soft little, button or whatever you want to call it. Do the complete opposite. Be sharp. Be painful. Sting them. Hurt them. Burn them. Make them go, ow, 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 ow. Because when they do that, all of a sudden you're not a target. You're just a regular person that they talk to like normal and they respect. So here's the deal. You're going to have to learn to speak up for yourself. You're going to have to learn to yell. You're going to have to learn to scream. You're going to have to learn to use the F word on them, okay? Sorry, but that's just kind of part of life, all right? So let me think of another thing. All right, so, this is what I want to say. Okay, I got it. Give me some water real quick. All right. So some of you might be like, yeah, but you're a man, Mike. You don't understand. Or you're bigger than me, okay? Or you're a fighter. You're trained. No. Okay, I'm going to give you the flip-flop after this. Okay, let's look at me. Yeah, I am a man. Yeah, I am 200 pounds. Yeah, I used to bench 365. I was a state champion in boxing, wrestling champion, football champion, kickboxing champion in the nation, the United States. And yet, my entire life, people whose asses I could have easily kicked. These narcissists were kicking me around verbally and socially. And that's what you have to understand when it comes to narcissists. It's about verbal communication and social. They're trying to dominate you mentally. It's not a physical domination. It's not. All right? If it has gotten that far, it's because you didn't verbally speak up for yourself. Because a lot of people say, oh, you got to be careful. They'll hurt you. Yeah, they will. And here's the key word. Now listen closely, because I've heard this for a long time, but I never understood them. And I bet you've heard it. Well, don't let them. I remember every time someone would say, I wanted to punch them right in the face. And that's what you should have done to the narcissist. Okay? You should have ripped them a new butthole, it's going to cuss, a new asshole with your words. You should have told them to F off, go to hell. I'm going to call the cops on you and tell your friends, say, hey, this guy's a fucking asshole. This person tried to do this and this and this to me, and they're trying to brainwash me. I caught them lying to me. Just fucking put it all out there. See, the reason why you became a target was because you were nice to them. And when they were mean to you, you were nice. Because they will test you. In the beginning, they throw a little test to see if they can get away with it. And you forgave them. And that's what they're looking for. And then you returned kindness. Oh, it's okay. Blah, 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 blah. No, it's not okay for someone to abuse you. It's not okay for someone to be mean to you, okay? So, number one, look at me. Yeah, you're right. I'm a big guy. I'm a strong guy. And yet, up until very recently, whenever I'd run into a narcissist, which again, I didn't know what the hell was going on until about 3 years ago, I would just, they would make me feel like shit. They would make me freaking shut down. I mean, I'm not going to go into the details, but it was horrible. It was embarrassing. It was shameful. But the one advantage that I did have, and this is something that anybody can do, because what happened was, it wasn't my physical strength that helped me out at all. My ability to fight. In fact, that's the whole thing. When it comes to narcissist abuse, that does nothing. Unless you're going to take the risk and punch them, attack them, and fight them, which could have easily been done by me. But that's not where the battle was. The battle was done on the mental. The battle was done verbally. Okay? So here's where I had my advantage. And I'm going to give you a lady, Judge Janine Pirro. She's a tiny little thing, probably 110 pounds, if that, probably lighter, about 5 foot tall, 5'1". She's a tiny little lady, but she is one hell of an aggressive lady verbally. She speaks her mind. She speaks loud, like I'm doing right now. So here's where I had my advantage. I'm going to give you some things that you can do to develop this. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be in martial arts. So when I was, I think, 4 years old or 3.5, probably 4.5, my dad took me down to the local community center. Me and my older brother, Gary, we joined the martial arts thing. And here's the thing, though. It had nothing to do with fighting at all. Nothing. In fact, this is one of the things that they will tell you as you get older. Like, hey, it's really not about how good you are at fighting. It's how strong you are verbally when you're willing to speak up. So what do they do in martial arts classes? Kia! Hey! Hey! Kia! They have you yell. They have you scream. They have you go, Kia! Really loud. Now, here's the thing. One thing I learned when it came to speech class, because I was terrified. I didn't take it in high school. I was like, no, I refused. I took some other class. I think it was a science class. I forget. You had like an option. I was like terrified of speech. And the thing is, in high school, I couldn't speak up to myself verbally when someone attacked me at all, except on the football field, okay? Or on the wrestling mat or whatever. But socially, I couldn't speak up for myself. It was like I was crippled. You know, my whole life I'd have dreams of like women who were, you know, got their black belts or whatever beating me up, and I literally couldn't even lift my arms to defend myself. And that dream was basically saying you can't speak up for yourself. You can't verbally defend yourself. And that is what this is all about. And again, that's why I'm speaking loud right now. So number one, you can join a martial arts class. I don't care how good you get at fighting. I do not care. But what I do care is that you join a martial arts class for at least 6 months or a year where you're in a group and you're going, Kia, Kia, hi, and you're screaming out. Because what will happen is naturally that will carry over. So here's what I learned in college when I had to take a speech class. Again, terrified. I learned that when I would make myself speak at home in the mirror, now you don't have to do it in the mirror. Sometimes I do it when I'm on a walk or a hike or in my car, is I'll do the speech and I'll speak it out and blah, 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 blah. And what I noticed is when my body got used to doing that a few times, I could speak in front of people that way. But what most people do is they never do it on their own in private or around maybe people they feel comfortable with. No, they go right up in front of a class and they try to speak and all of a sudden they shut down. Well, of course you're going to shut down because you can't, you know, it's like, it's okay. I have a course for men called Crack the Female Code. It's a dating relationship coaching thing. And I teach men how to talk to women, how to approach women. What do you say? What makes them feel comfortable? So what happens is I will always invariably get this guy, hey man, oh my God, I met the girl of my dreams. Can you help me? I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Oh, well, I want to take your course and then I want to go get the girl. Oh, whoa, dude, whoa. It's like, whoa, bro, so you're basically telling me this is your Super Bowl? This is your championship ring time? Oh, yeah, this is the one. This is the Super Bowl. This is the biggest event of my life. I go, and you're not going to practice this? You're not going to... It's kind of like becoming a boxer, and you take the course on how to be a boxer, and your very first fight is a world title professional championship fight against Mike Tyson. No. That does not work. That does not work. And that's where a lot of you got stuck because you're like, oh, okay, well, now that someone told me to speak up for myself, I'm just going to go up to that narcissist. No, you're going to shut down. That's not how you start. You do it on your own. You do it with people that are smaller. You get practice. Like that's why they have the amateurs. Your first fight, invariably, unless it's their first fight too, you're probably going to get your ass kicked, okay? But you go back in it and you stay an amateur and you stay in the little leagues, okay? That's why they call it little league for baseball. You don't start at the top. So I tell these guys, I go, look, man, you can't learn something and the very first time you do it in real life, do it for your damn Super Bowl, like the woman of your dreams, the one that makes you the most nervous. And I go, you're going to have to like approach someone at a grocery store, at a coffee shop. You're going to have to practice in real life. So your body and your brain connects with it and goes, oh, so this is how you do it. So here's what I'm saying. When I started doing speech class, all of a sudden I figured out a way to talk in my car or to talk at home when I was alone. And then boom, when I got up, and I would do it over and over and over. And then the first couple times weren't perfect. Okay, just like a guy who approaches a girl for the first time. It's not perfect. You're going to stumble. You're going to bumble, okay? But the first few times I stumbled and bumbled, but I did pretty good. I was kind of surprised. Like, I got part of it right. And then the third or fourth time, it's like, okay, that was really good. And then at that point, it was a matter, okay, now let's get down to brass tacks. Let's make this good. So here's the deal. You want to start, yelling, doing Kia, Kia. You want your body to get used to you speaking up. See, that's the one thing. When I found out what narcissists were, and then when I realized, like, wait a minute, they're more sensitive than us. Oh, so then I went on the attack, because I had done all the kias in martial arts. I had done the yelling and screaming in football and in the infantry, literally in the military. I had done choir. I had done speech class and then argument and debate class. And I was on the argument and debate team. I had done these things where my body was like, yeah, I know how to speak up for myself. I know how to fucking yell, especially football, man. I yelled a lot in football. So next thing you know, I unloaded on these narcissists, and they were like, whoa, who the fuck is this? Because before, all they saw was this soft, nice guy that forgave them all the time and let them walk all over me, treat me like shit. And then I forgave them again, and they're just grinning like, oh, okay, this is a softie. This is exactly what I need. And then on top of that, not only did I forgive them, I came back and I nurtured them and I built up their self-esteem and all that bullshit. Now it's like, oh, no, you're a narcissist. Oh, okay, game on, bitch. Sorry, forgive my words, but game on, man. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, I see. Oh, no, we're playing that game. Oh, see, here's the deal. Now that you guys know what narcissists are, you know the game. You know what's going on. The number one thing that you're going to have to do is start yelling, start raising your voice, start speaking with certainty. If you have to get coaching on this, I'll coach you. I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I learned how to do this from not only going to Tony Robbins seminars, but going to the trainings he went to do. A lot of people don't realize what Tony's doing. Tony Robbins, essentially, his core base is neurolinguistic programming, and then Ericksonian hypnosis, okay? I actually trained with Dr. Bandler and Dr. Grinder and Dr. Chad James, et cetera, the same people that he trained with, okay? So okay, let me give you something I don't think I've ever told you guys. I spoke at Hewlett-Packard 4 times. I used to speak on radio stations. I've done all of this stuff, real estate agents. And another thing that I'm actually more proud of is working with professional athletes who are terrified to step in the ring. They got hurt, they got injured, and all of a sudden they're gun shy, and getting them back on track. It's the same thing I would do with you. So here's the deal. There are resources out there to get you, one thing you could do, join a choir. That helps you get your voice out there and you speak up, right? So you get out there, your voice gets out there. I know I'm emphasizing the same thing over and over, but I'm trying to give you different ways. In fact, I wouldn't do just one. I would do the martial arts thing for a while where you're going, Kia, Kia. And you'll know when you walk by on the other side of the street, you'll hear the people screaming, they do it in a group. That's the one you join. I don't give a shit if it's Shotokan, Taekwondo. It's not about the martial art. It's about you verbally speaking up for yourself and calling people on their shit. And guess what? The way I'm doing it to you right now is how I practice it at home all the time. So let's say someone fucks with me. Some narcissist plays mind games or does something. And generally, here's what happens. Do not think that every single time someone plays mind games, I catch it right away. Now, I catch it a lot faster now. And I'm really quick on the what do you call it? The get back or the slap back or whatever, so the snap back. But I didn't used to always be this way. What would happen is I'd basically get my ass kicked. Somebody would say something like, what? And it would catch me off guard, and I felt like shit. And then I'd go home and like, oh man, I should have fucking said this. And then I would say it in the living room or in the bathroom, in the mirror, blah, blah, blah. Or when I'm driving my car, when I exercise, and I'm like, fuck you, man. Blah, 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 blah. And it's, oh shit. So there's a lot of things like even the Bible things, okay, this is a good example. So for years now, people are, oh, you don't believe in the Bible. Oh, that's all fake stories and fake this and fake that. And there's one thing that I caught, Because I didn't know how to, like, well, how do you prove to someone that the Bible's real, or there's actually stories and things and wisdom and all kinds of stuff in there they can learn? Like there's teachings about narcissism and how to deal with them in the Bible. Okay, so I didn't know what to fucking say until one day, like, one person just goes, oh, I don't believe in the Bible, blah, blah, blah. I think it's full of fairy tales and made up stories, blah, blah, blah. Really? And so I learned this with something else. I forget what it was, but I finally applied to this, and I said, really? I go, well, what Bible college did you go to? Where did you get your master's degree in biblical studies? And I'm like, what? Oh, I've never, and this is what they said. Because here's the deal, they speak with such authority, so I respond to them as if they are the authority, and I'm fascinated, and I want to know, so where did you get your authority from? Where did you learn so much? And so what happened was, I literally said, so where did you study the Bible? And they blurted out, oh, I've never studied the Bible before. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sure you've read it, from front to back at least, right? A few times. Like, no. And they said, I've never read it. I go, you've never read the Bible? They're like, no. Now, I didn't get it right then, but when I went home, I'm like, oh my God, here's some idiot who doesn't know jack shit about the Bible. And yet they're trying to act like they're the all God-given authority. So the next time someone said that to me, I said, oh, really? So where did you study the Bible? Where did you go to biblical college? Where did you get your master's and doctorate degree in biblical studies? Like, oh, well, I didn't. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, where did you study? Oh, I never have. I go, you never have? And then I'll take them to the next level. Like, well, I'm sure you've read the Bible a lot, though. Like, no, I've never read it before. And that's when I'm like, oh, so you don't know this? No. Oh, so you don't know that? No. And they'll say, well, to be honest with you, I don't really know anything about the Bible. I go, exactly. So shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh shit, they got me. Like, yeah, because like, honestly, how much of an idiot to sit there and act like you're the authority, and you're going to sit there, oh, that's not real. And this is what I said to them. I go, how in the fuck do you know if you've never read it? So here's my point. I practiced that at home. And the first probably 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 times someone said, oh, the Bible's not real. The stories are made up. I had no comeback. I didn't know what to say. But one day it was just like, I just kind of looked at them like, wait a minute, like, well, how do you know so much about the Bible? And I just started to ask them these questions. And then it dawned on me, like, oh, they don't know anything. They don't know what they're talking about. So now I can make fun of them and throw it in their face and literally point out, like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And they got really quiet, like, oh, shit. So my point is this: do not think that it's like a magic button where all of a sudden you're going to know how to speak up for yourself the first time you try. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn. You have to develop. You have to do things to be able to speak up for yourself. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I think you guys get the point. Take a karate class where they yell and scream. Join a choir somewhere where they sing loud. Lift weights. Powerlifting will really get you into breathing and breath work and yelling. I'm trying to think what else. Practice it at home. Take a speech class. Take a freaking speech class, okay? If you guys have any more tips on how to, like, practice speaking up, well, throw it down in the description. God bless you guys. See you in the next video.